Hi, welcome to Singapore Sports School, e-Open House. I look forward to meeting you and speaking with you face to face when we have the opportunity. Today, I will share with you some information about the sports school, as well as explore some consideration you may have should you be thinking about sending your child to the school. We'll end off the session with a sharing by a parent and a student, as well as to answer some frequently asked questions that you might have. Now, the Singapore Sports School started in 2004 with the purpose to support our student athletes to pursue a dream of both academic and sports excellence. We want to give hope to young sports talents who aspire to bring honor and glory to Singapore one day. And so the school is dedicated to provide promising young Singapore athletes with the necessary support to realize their potential. Therefore, the mission of the school is to nurture learned champions with character, grounded on those values, so that one day, all our student athletes who go through the gates of Singapore Sports School can and will become a champion in sports and a champion in life. The school has 9 sports academy that comprises badminton, table tennis, football, netball, swimming, track and field, bowling, fencing, and shooting, as well as an individual program which we look out for athletes who are passionate about their sports. And if we are able to support you in your sports and academic pursuit, we welcome you to join the school. Now, in the last 16 years of history of the Singapore Sports Schools, we have produced 8 Olympians. These are our 8 Olympians. Beyond the 8 Olympians, our student athletes have made their mark on world stage, whether at the senior games or at the junior competitions. And these are all their achievements. Take for example the recently completed Southeast Asian Games. Of all the medals won by Team Singapore, Singapore Sports School contributed some 30% of the medal haul. Now, our champions excel in sports, academics, and in life. Take for example Isabel Lee. She topped her course in 2014 when she graduated from the Republic Poly academic program. Not only did she go on to win the Yale NUS Dean Scholarship, she was also awarded the Public Service Commission Scholarship. Among the recent graduates of our IB program, Krystal Wong, who was one of the top scorers, she has been to 3 SEA Games and medaled at all of them. When I asked her what would she be doing after she has gotten her results, she told me matter-of-factly, I'm going to pursue badminton full-time because I want to see how far I can go in the sports. Now that speaks of purpose, passion, and dedication. 2 other examples among our top scorers are Phoebe and Michelle. Not only did they translate their love for sports in terms of their achievement, they have also turned that into a passion to teach younger athletes in the rhythmic gymnastics. And in so doing, not only do they pass on their passion to the next generation, they also earn some pocket money. So much so that in their own words, they said, we have not taken any pocket money from our parents since we were 17. Amazing self-discipline, maturity, and focus. I'll move on to share with you why you want to think about sending your child to Singapore Sports School. We're able to do all of the above because of the quality of training that we provide, because of the athlete-friendly academic program supported by strong student development program in a conducive environment of the school. We're able to cater to all streams of academic study, whether you're from the normal technical, normal academic, or the express stream. We're committed to develop you to be at least the school sports level athlete, or national youth level attainment, or even to move on to join the national team one day. We develop your child from a long-term athlete perspective. We start off with teaching your child how to train, moving on to train, and train to compete, informed by sports science as well as scientific training methods. Our academic coaches work very closely with National Youth Sports Institute as well as the NSA, so as to provide you high-quality coaching, and through all this partnership, we are able to develop your child to their fullest potential. As a result of the partnership, your child will receive robust sports science support particularly in the area of physiotherapy, as well as strength and conditioning. We also teach your child basic sports science module so that they are better able to understand their sports, they are better able to understand their body, and as well as to how to train well and train safely. We also provide many overseas training opportunities as well as competitions. We're able to do all of this because of very strong partnership with our overseas partners. In the academic area, we're able to provide 4 academic pathways for your child. You could either take the national exams pathway via the N or O level and moving on to junior colleges, polytechnic, or ITE. Or you could take the True Train pathway and move on to the Diploma in Business Study program with Ngee Polytechnic, or the Diploma in Business with Republic Poly, or the International Baccalaureate program with the school. We do all of this through small group teaching. We provide strong academic makeup so that students who miss their lesson are able to catch up. We also provide good consultation during self-study time so that our kids are able to consolidate their learning and build a strong foundation for their academic pursuit. Where necessary, we could even customize the various modules so that your child is able to progress along in a balanced manner, both the academic and their sports pursuit. We also provide boarding so that your child is better able to manage his or her time. We also want our children to develop good habits as they learn how to manage themselves, as well as character development. So through boarding, your child will enjoy nutritious meal with us, be provided with laundry services, and live in a safe and secure environment, as well as learn how to manage their time when they do their own self-study. We leverage outdoor adventure learning to develop your child's character development. Your child will also get to enjoy nutritious food, and they will learn food nutrition in practice as they experience it through their daily meals in school. We also leverage journaling as a tool to help our children to pause and reflect from their learning experiences, whether in their sports or in their academic area, so that all this learning will be owned by the students as they take ownership of what they do in their journey towards excellence. We also provide many opportunities for our children to learn to serve the community so that it's not just about themselves, but it's also about others, through Values in Action programs serving the community. Now, what is it like in the day of our student athlete? Well, if they're boarding with us, they start off with morning training if the academy require morning training session. If there's no morning training session, the athlete could actually sleep in, followed by breakfast, lesson, and lunch. After that, they continue their lesson, followed by prep class for those students taking national exams, or makeup lesson for students who miss lessons due to their training or competitions, followed by rest time and afternoon training sessions. In the evening, the students have their dinner, followed by self-study time, as well as supper, some free time, and finally lights out to rest for the day. Now your child will get to train in world-class sports facility. We have, for example, 2 full Olympic-sized sheltered pools. We also have a badminton center, table tennis center, fencing hall, indoor shooting range, bowling center, running track, football field, netball court, training areas for gymnastics and martial art, even a 2-story huge strength and conditioning center, and other facilities. Most valuable is the National Youth Sports Institute that sits within the school. They provide services to our students to support their training and development. Now, it's been said that it takes a village to raise a child. It's the same to raise a champion. In partnership with our parents, the NSA, key sports organization in Singapore, our teachers, mentors, our managers, coaches, and boarding mentors will work together to ensure the development of your child. So, we take your child's development seriously so that at the end, he or she will be developed holistically, so that Singapore Sports School will be a place for young sports talent who aspire to bring honor and glory to Singapore one day, to pursue a dream of both academic and sports excellence, to be a champion in sports and in life. So if you want to be a champion, join us. Hi, welcome to Singapore Sports School e-Open House. Today, I have with me the chairman of the Sporting Parents Network, Mr. Colin Fu, as well as Miss Samantha Ortega, right, a Sec 3 student. We'll start off today's session by asking Mr. Colin Fu, now, what made you decide to send your child to Singapore Sports School?
Okay, back then when my child was in primary 6, we actually have two choices. One is, of course, Singapore Sports School, and the other one is a popular school in Singapore. So we have a long discussion about what she wants, and she told me that she wanted to be a national bowler as well as pursue a university education. So after a long discussion, we decided to choose Singapore Sports School because we find that the environment and the school program will help her to achieve these two goals. So after 5 years, today she's in IB1 as well as she's also in the National Development Squad.
So your goals are getting closer and closer.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Samantha, how about you? Why did you join Singapore Sports School?
I chose the sports school because I felt like it was the best school to allow me to balance both sports and studies. And as a young girl, I've always aspired to take track as far as I could. And I felt like the sports school was the best school to not only nurture me as an athlete, but as a student, like not leaving me disadvantaged in Singapore's academic race.
Interesting. Out of curiosity, why do you choose track even?
I chose track because I felt like it was the best sport that clicked with me. I've always enjoyed doing it when I was young, and after doing it for around 7 years, it's really been like a part of me.
I see. Wow, it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
So how do you then keep your passion going, even though you've been in this sports for so long?
I just remind myself of my short-term goals as well as my long-term goals, which really drive me that all this hard work is going to pay off and it's going to be worth it.
I see. So what is it like, in a typical day for you as a student in sports school?
For different students, morning training varies. But with days that I don't have morning training, school starts at 8:40 and ends at 2:20 p.m. And then I have training from 4 to 6:30, and then I go for dinner and then attend SST, which is a 2-hour supervised self-study time, which is from 7:45 to 9:30. Yeah.
I see. And what time then you go to bed? I mean,
10
since you look like you have a very packed schedule.
At 10:15, we are expected to sleep, and
Go back to Mr. Colin Fu. So what was it like, when you had to send your child to school and then have to let her board, right, even when she was Sec 1?
Yeah. Basically, there are two concerns. One of them is definitely we'll miss our family time together. And of course, the other one, as a typical parents, will be bad influence from peers. So one of the things that I did was I shift nearer to the school so that on and off, I have the flexibility to drop by to visit her during the night time. Yeah, and I mean, actually, sports school do allow parents to visit their child during at night after their SST. Yeah, and of course, the other one was after spending 5 years here, my concern is uncalled for because I find her now she's more mature and independent.
I see.
So I'm very assured.
I see.
Yeah,
That's
after-
wonderful.
yes.
Yeah. So Sam, how about you? I mean, you hear a concerned parent when he first had to let go of her daughter. How about yourself? What was it like for you when you first started with the school?
when I first joined as a junior, I wasn't very much homesick, but I felt like the focus of trying to adjust as quickly as possible kind of distracted me of the fact that I actually really, really miss my family. But I think the strong support from my mentors, coaches and staff really helped me along the way. So, for example, there are programs like Orientation Day where I could get comfortable with my peers and build valuable friendships, which really helped me to adjust in the school. And there was also the buddy program where I had seniors to seek advice for and to look up to, and also gave me people who I could also relate to at my age. And lastly, the coaches and the mentors and the really, really supportive staff who were very enthusiastic in making you a better athlete and a better student. And it made me feel like I was surrounded with a system that I could trust and I could seek for help. So, but I think the joy of being able to train every day and be around my friends that made those first few months fly by.
That's wonderful. So, all that you have described, right? Your dream of wanting to pursue academic as well as sporting excellence. How have you found the balance?
It's really, really difficult, and at some days it can be really draining and exhausting. Sports school students have a very structured schedule, and therefore we don't have the luxury of time. So, it really forces the student athletes here to have time management and to set their priorities straight. But I feel that with the help of staff, so for example, my academic mentor, she and I would set goals and manage my progress, and teachers will also, within like a drop of a text, they would stay back after school just to help me in my work. And there's also SST, which is a 2-hour study session, and that assures that athletes have time that is set aside daily to study.
I
Yeah.
see. So, what are some other challenges besides what you just described about balancing, the academic and the sports pursuit? Other challenges that you face?
I think keeping your motivation going, keeping that drive and that fire within you, because it's really, really like tiring and exhausting, and there are days you really want to give up, and you're just so sick and tired of pushing yourself mentally and then pushing yourself physically. But I think part of what keeps my drive is also my coaches and my teammates. They make training fun, and it just makes the environment a lot more positive and cheerful, and it makes working hard fun.
I see.
Yeah, so
Wow, making working hard fun. That's something wonderful and amazing. Perhaps maybe what about Mr. Fu? I mean, your daughter's own experience, does it mirror what Sam say, or
Yes.
is it somewhat different?
Yes, I have to agree with her because during her 5 years here, at certain points you experience some low point. So she also experienced some point of giving up. So as parents, we have to encourage them, especially when they come back from over the weekend. We have to speak positive things to her, tell her to press on, tell her that why she's here, and why she chose sports school is to achieve one of her goals. Yeah, so I can recognize with that point.
I see.
Yeah.
So, what advice might you give to a parent who might be considering whether or not to send their child to sports school?
I think this is one of the points that they need to consider. It's not about coming into sports school, doing well, achieving all the target, but at some point every athlete will experience a low point, and that's where as parents we need to come in and encourage them. Of course, the other takeaway is that during her first 4 years she have made some good friends, so these are the friends that help her to carry on. Yeah.
I see. I think likewise, maybe I could ask Samantha, does this whole pursuit, this whole struggle, this whole reality of facing challenges and times when you feel like giving up, how do you see yourself, overcoming all this, and how would you then perhaps apply this to other areas of your life?
I think part of that is learning to grab hold of opportunities. So the school really provides their student athletes with all the necessities and tools that they need to reach their dreams, like the physiotherapists in NYSI, the coaches, the academic mentors who are always ready to help you, and the system itself is built to get the athletes to where they want to be. And learning to grab hold of all these opportunities to make use of my coaches, like ask them for advice, or make use of the physiotherapists whenever I have aches that I feel like could get serious. That helps me to prevent further injuries. And I feel like in life I should also learn to notice these opportunities given to me and what the people around me have to offer and make use of that.
So beyond sports, what do you aspire to do one day?
I aspire to be an architect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why architect?
I feel like it has a good balance between being creative and as well as being realistic, and you can create things and make it come to life.
So as you pursue that dream as well as your sporting, aspiration, what would you say is a target or goal you set for yourself in as far as your sports pursuit? Where do you want to reach one day for your sports pursuit?
I definitely want to represent Singapore one day, maybe in ASEAN or Asian level. And yeah, it's just such an honor to represent your country and having that chance to make them proud and to show that Singapore is capable of doing anything they set their mind to. So yeah, it's such an honor and I really want to do it one day. Yeah.
Wow, I think that's amazing, right? And I'm really encouraged by your aspiration, both in your pursuit towards doing architecture as well as your dream, right, to represent Singapore one day. Perhaps would you have any advice to students who might be thinking whether or not to join sports school? What would you say to them, or any advice for them?
I would say that come into sports school with the mindset that you have this burning desire to reach your dreams and you will do whatever it takes to get there, and to realize that the journey is going to be tough, it's not going to be easy, but if you're willing to put in that hard work, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Thanks. What about Mr. Fu?
Yes, I have to agree with Samantha. Coming to sports school, I mean, it's not about becoming a champion, right? There can only be one champion, but it's the things that you learn in the sports school that is the takeaway that you will have it with you for life. For example, like when they are facing challenges, when they're facing low, I always tell my daughter, life is not a bed of roses. So this one, you can always apply it in your life later on, because life is full of challenges beyond sports school, beyond sports. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that you have some of our questions answered today through the perspective of Samantha as well as Mr. Colin Fu. And I look forward to seeing you one day.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.